Thank you. So if you've ever been to one of my workshops, you know that I like to start with this slide. I've worked in nonprofit for a couple of years, and I know that one of the biggest concerns that we have is there enough funding for all of us? And so I want to work on the entire nonprofit ecosystem in St. Louis, shifting that mindset. Instead of being worried that there's not enough for all of us, let's embrace that there is. So on your screen right now, you'll see this slide that talks about the abundance mindset versus scarcity mindset. It's exactly what I just described. Abundance mindset is the belief that there are enough resources and opportunities for all of us. That way we are more open to collaboration, creativity, and growth. If you're operating from a scarcity mindset, that's the belief that resources are limited, leading to fear-based decision making and competition instead of collaboration. So we're really going to think about the abundance. There are enough resources for all of us to achieve our visions. With that said, something else I love to do at the beginning of my workshops is to think about things that we're grateful for. When you think about things that you're grateful for, it tends to kind of lift your mood and make you more open to creative projects. So if you all don't mind dropping in the chat the name of a food that you are really grateful for this week. I know it's a weird request, but any food that you're grateful for this week, if you can drop that in the chat. Yes, pizza. Especially in St. Louis, we just had 314 day. Anybody get emos? Mac and cheese cups? Heck yeah, that was my lunch for like the longest. Any other foods that we're grateful for? Yes, love it. Where'd you get the euro? I need to know that. Air fryers, lifesavers.
Pickles
Yeah.
Deli is where I got the euro.
Ooh, heck yeah.
So
Okay.
good. I think I might go off my camera so I can eat it without looking like a heathen, but
Do your thing. Also, feel free to eat. I have no one's judging here. We do love onion rings. Okay, so for the next one, can you all drop the name of a song that you're really grateful for? Any song that you're grateful for. This is my favorite part. I love to see the music that everyone's listening to. Okay. I don't know that song, Lindsay, but I'm gonna have to look it up. Any other songs that we're grateful for? Yes, that is a great one. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And then the last question, can you drop the name of a person that you are grateful for today? Yes. I love it. So chances are one of those questions made you smile at least a little bit. It helped you drop your shoulders and just really get into the present moment and feeling excited for the things that we have coming up, like Give STL Day. So moving on. The next thing that I like to do is for all of us to think about why are we here today? So on the board right now, I have a fill in the blank. I want you to think about the answers to each of these blanks. You can say those sentences in your head. You can also drop it in the chat or come off mute. So if I were to do this, I would say, my name is Arkayla. I'm the owner of Wildflower Communications. My work is about supporting nonprofits through communication strategy. It makes me feel excited to be able to do this work. I'm proud of the way that I've supported a lot of grassroots nonprofits, and I believe that we can create a future where all of us have the capacity to tell powerful stories. So that's how I would do mine. Also, I've done this 1,000 times, so that it's easy to rattle off my head, and I work in PR. So starting with that. But if everyone wants to just take a second, sit with these words, think about how you would fill them in, and then if you would like to come off mute and say them, feel free. Also, if you would like to drop it in the chat. I can also copy and paste it with the blanks in the chat as well. Oh, I love that it's sent in white font. That's super easy to read, right? Can fix that for you. There you go. So it's also in the chat now. Another reason I love Canva, I'm sure you've heard me say a lot of them. I can be in the middle of my slideshow and just change the font color and copy and paste it and throw it in the chat. All right. Is there anyone that would like to come off mute and tell us a little bit about you and your org? No worries if not. Y'all are a quiet bunch today. That's okay. All right. We'll keep going. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Betty. All right. So we got Good Shepherd School for Children, and they do work about early childhood education and inclusion. Yes, this is awesome. And we absolutely can create a future where everyone succeeds. Thank you for dropping that, Betty. So I'm going to keep it pushing. So as I mentioned before, a little bit about me. So I use pronouns she, her. I'm a strategic storytelling specialist. I also go by a lot of different titles. Sometimes I'm a website designer. Sometimes I'm a social media person. Sometimes I'm a community organizer. But at the root of it all is stories. I was born in Belleville, Illinois. I earned my bachelor's in public relations from Kent State University in 2019. I'm an Aquarius, if you're into astrology. I live in Dutchtown. I started my consulting business, Wildflower Communications, about 6 years ago. In addition to this work, I'm also a poet and a writer. And up on the board, you'll see some samples of work that I've done. So I work for the South Grand Business District. I've also done all types of content workshops and Canva workshops in the youth justice world in LA. Yes, Aquarius. I've worked for the Hollywood Climate Summit and just a bunch of around 25 different orgs here in St. Louis. I've done some type of comms work for. And I'm really excited to do what I do. If you can't tell by the way that I'm talking in this meeting, I love what I do. I feel very, very lucky to be able to do the work that I do. And I'm excited for opportunities like this to share a little bit about how I do the work that I do. So I'm going to check the chat, just make sure I'm not missing any questions. Thank you, David, for dropping the work that you do as well. And yes, thank you for being an Aquarius. All right, so continuing on. So one of the big things I'm going to need y'all to do for this workshop to flow well is to gather some documents that represent your brand. So some of your organizations might have a full brand guide that shows your logo, your color codes, your fonts, key messages, and keywords. If you've got that, awesome. If not, there's still plenty of ways for you to build your brand kit in Canva. So I want to start with giving you all about 5 minutes to search through your emails, search through your documents, find an image of your logo, maybe 1 or 2 images from your social media pages or photos that you've seen your organization use. And I want you to bring those into one document, one place. Even if it is going on your website and taking a screenshot of your logo, whatever works, I would just love for you all to grab a couple of visuals that relate to your organization and its brand. Whether it's a social media post, a screenshot of your website, anything like that, you just need a couple of photos that represent your brand. And I'll pause for a second while y'all do that. And then I'm going to walk through what a standard brand kit can have in it. But first, I'll let y'all gather materials. Please feel free to come off mute or raise your hand to ask any questions about the materials that you're gathering. Also, if you can make a separate Word document or Google document to keep the links to these items, that'll make all of the content that you make in the future super easy. Plus, we're going to go through some key messages today that I think you guys will want to keep in one document as well. So if you don't already have a Word document or Google Doc open, I would go ahead and open one and then work on finding things that showcase your organization's brand visuals.
We already have this uploaded to Canva. Is that sufficient?
Yeah, if you already have your brand kit in Canva, you're good to go. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Bless you. Awesome. So as y'all are collecting those items, I'm actually going to walk you through a brand kit that I thought was really awesome. Just that you all can see what a brand kit looks like if your organization doesn't have one. I know that I've worked with a lot of grassroots orgs to create their brand kits. I did not create this one. This one is actually from the St. Louis Community Foundation. It's just an example of what a brand kit can look like. So this is, for example, a slide deck, talks about their brand identity. This is also available under the resources tab on the Give SDLJ website, resources for nonprofits, and I'll send it in my follow-up email. So it talks a little bit about what the organization is, what this brand kit is for. And then as you scroll down, you'll see the different versions of their logos. It'll tell you about how you can use the logo, so what sizes to use it, as well as how to not use the logo. And then one of the sections I love the most, a brand kit will often include your brand colors, which includes the little color code down here at the bottom, which is super easy to throw into Canva. So those are just some basic elements that can show up in a brand kit. If your organization has one, that's awesome. If not, it is easy to make one of these, and we can still absolutely do this full workshop, even if you just have a screenshot of your logo. Any questions on collecting some of those items? Can I get a thumbs up if you guys got the things that you need? Any thumbs ups? Thank you, thank you. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to keep moving along. Always feel free to stop me if y'all have any questions. So if you've ever taken one of my workshops, you know I love SMART goals. So we're going to talk a little bit about what is a SMART goal, and then we're going to set individual goals for the money that we want to personally raise for Give STL Day. So a SMART goal, these are used across a variety of industries. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Specific, you really want to narrow what exactly are you trying to achieve. Once you narrow that, you want to add the measurement, the unit, that will actually showcase if you achieved it. Make sure that those goals are attainable and realistic, things that you can truly accomplish, and add a timestamp. If you let yourself know what day you need to get these things done by, when that day comes, you can check and see, okay, did I get it done? And if not, plan to make pivots to do it better next time. When you're thinking about a SMART goal, you also want to ask yourself a couple questions. What actions do you want people to take? How can you get people to take those actions? And what are the measurable outcomes of the action? That way you're getting really clear about what exactly do you want people to do and why do you want people to do it. So the example on the right-hand side of your screen is my SMART goal, which is to encourage 15 people in my network to donate at least $20 to my organization by May 7th. What I would recommend for all of you in setting your SMART goal today is to take that exact sentence, fill it in with how many people you want to donate to your organization and the amount of money that you want them to donate. So I'll give you guys a second to drop in that Word document what your SMART goal is for your personal fundraising for Give STL Day. Do I have any questions? Perfect. I'll give us about 30 seconds to make sure that we all have our SMART goal written at the top of our document. Perfect. Moving along. So to achieve that SMART goal, you might want to think about some contacts. Who are you going to reach out to? And so what I would love for you all to do right now is to just sit and think and make a list of all of the people that you personally know who would care about the work that you're doing today. You can just drop their first names, maybe first and last name if you have it, first name, last name, and contact. But we're going to take about 2 minutes to just word vomit, if you know that phrase, brain dump, however, whatever you call it, all the names of the folks that you know who would be interested in the work that your organization does. This is going to turn into a contact list that you can use a lot of times in the future. So take a second. I'll hush for about 2 minutes and just drop all the names that you can think of in your document. Yeah, thank you for the question, David. So this would indeed be in the, that would be the foundation of your customer relationship management for sure. I feel like, so my goal for today's workshop is to make recruiting donors as simple as possible for each of us as individuals. So for some of us, this will get uploaded into a CRM. For some of us, this will just be a Word document that we use and we text people from our cell phones. And so the goal of this workshop is to boil it down, make it as simple as possible for you to do outreach to recruit donors. And yes, perfect. Thank you for the questions, David. Perfect. We'll give it about another minute. Thank you for dropping your information as well, Barb. Awesome, awesome. So that's a great question, Christy. I personally love using a mix of both text and email. So from what I've learned, it takes about 2 to 3 touch points before a person actually donates. And so I believe maybe starting with a text message, following up with an email or vice versa, and then on the day of giving, sending a text message. And as long as you have the link, which we'll talk about this later, directly in your text, makes it so much easier for people to make that donation. It's all about what makes this easy for people to make the donation and how do we make sure that they do not feel uncomfortable with the amount of outreach that we're doing. So we'll get into an outreach plan at the end of the workshop too. Perfect. Everyone feeling good about their contact list? Can I get a thumbs up? Yes, it is definitely hard to find the sweet spot, David. Thank you. The exploding thumbs up is fun. All right. So next we're going to get into key messages. So again, I want to reiterate, this is not your organization-wide key message. This is for you, the person sitting in this workshop today, to really think about how are you going to recruit donors. So when I think about key messages, I think of 5 different types of key messages that would be really handy here. First, we have personal connection. When you're thinking about those key messages, it's answering the question, why do you personally care about the work? The next one is why your organization matters. In this one, you want to really help donors quickly understand what your organization has done and is doing for the community. The third type is donation impact. You want to give a concrete example of how donations will support your work. The fourth one, progress and momentum. You want to share updates about your organization, your programs, and your campaigns that shows that you are building momentum and moving the work forward. And then fifth, your last type of key message is the invitation. How can someone immediately support the work? So that's that donation link I was talking about. Any questions about the 5 different types of key messages that we'll be using today? Awesome. And then each of these key messages, you want to make 1 sentence if possible, 2 sentences if absolutely needed. So you want to keep things really simple, that way you can pull from these whenever you're doing your outreach to your different communities. So the next slide, this is a fake example, fictitious example. I wrote this as though I was running a summer camp for children. And so the first type of key message is personal connection. So my sentence would be, my organization makes summer camp affordable for all kids, which is the luxury I wish I had as a kid. So that's how you could add the personal connection. The second type of key message is why your organization matters. So my example would be, many kids struggle during the summer without school-provided meals and enrichment activities. My org provides those. Third, donation impact. A donation of $50 pays for 1 student to attend a week-long arts summer camp. The fourth type, progress and momentum. Last year, we offered 100 students free access to art camps during the summer. And then last, the fifth, the invitation. Use this link to donate to our cause and support more kids having access to summer camp. So that's my example of how I could write 5 of these different key messages if I were, for example, running a kids' summer art program. I want to take you guys to each take about 5 minutes to write out your own 5 key messages. You can feel free to ask any questions if you want to come off mute or share some of the ideas that you're thinking for your key messages. But I want you guys to think of yourself as an individual, a representative of your organization, and someone who really cares about your mission and vision. And then write these statements. And of course, come off mute if you have any questions. And if anyone would like to share, feel free.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Of course.
I really struggle to tie a donation amount to specific outcomes because my nonprofit funds heart research and technology advancements for kids because we lost our daughter. So many of these things are very easy for me to answer. But when it comes to donation impact, I find myself struggling. And I'm
Yeah.
curious if you have any ideas of.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's a great question. Thank you for introducing us a little bit more deeply to your organization as well. So you could think about a $50 donation supports us in recruiting researchers. I feel like for you, I would maybe just pick a dollar amount that feels like it would be helpful in moving the work forward. But it might be harder, like you mentioned, to have that very tangible, here's exactly what it goes towards. But yeah, I would probably just make it more general. Think of the dollar amount that you would like individuals to give, and then just list what type of research it goes towards, or a more tangible site, because research is even pretty broad. So if you could say research about this specific topic, or research happening at St. Louis University, or things like that, if you can get really specific about the type of research that you're doing or where it's happening, that might be a good way to make that donation impact feel more grounding.
Okay,
And
one idea that I could bounce off of you.
mhm,
There is actual equipment that we're able to purchase that reduces the need for heart kids to be sedated, which is really dangerous for them. And so those things have like actual costs associated, but not one donor is going to give. So
yeah,
maybe I could say, with this many $100 donations, I could purchase this piece of equipment for Children's Hospital or whatever.
yes, that would be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you for talking through that with me.
of course. Thank you for being open to brainstorming it with me. Anyone else have questions about their key messages? If you're feeling like you got solid key messages, can you throw me a thumbs up? It's okay if we need to take a couple more minutes, no worries. Perfect. Thanks, Barb. Any other questions that I can answer? Or is there any one of these types of key messages that folks are stuck on right now? So once we're done with the key messages, the next thing that we're going to do is actually build our brand kit in Canva, build out a template for a post that you can make on social media on your personal page, and then start to work those key messages in for captions, and then think about outreach that you're going to do with this content. It's just letting you guys know where we're headed next. All right. If you have your key messages, if I can get a thumbs up. Awesome. Seeing a couple more thumbs up. We'll give it about another minute and then we'll keep it pushing. There'll be more space for questions and things like that after, and I'll of course send everyone my contact information because I know that when you leave this workshop, there's gonna be about 1,000 questions that come up when you get into doing the work. So perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. So, as y'all know, I love Canva. I think that's pretty obvious. I build just about everything in Canva, from websites to commercials, stickers, t-shirts, business cards, all types of things. And once I discovered that you can build a brand kit in Canva and have color codes and fonts and all those cool things pre-saved, made my life 10 times easier. So, what I would love for all of us to do right now is to just open up Canva, just the homepage. I'm guessing a lot of us already have Canva accounts. So if you can open that up for me, let me know when you're there. Just the thumbs up in the chat once you have Canva. Thank you, Betty. I saw your physical thumbs up. Thank you, thank you. Perfect. So when you're building your brand kit, the exploding thumbs up always cracks me up. Along the left-hand side of your screen, you will see a bunch of different areas that you can click to. So you have home, projects, templates, and then you have a button that says brand. So you're going to want to click in brand. Once you're there, you might have this little box that shows different brand kits that you already have that exist. You'll want to click the little arrow in the corner and click Create New Brand Kit. Once your screen looks like mine, now you don't have to name yours, give STL Day, you would want to name yours after your organization. You'll want to click Create. Everybody made it here? If you can give me a thumbs up. So again, there we go. I'm seeing the thumbs up. Perfect. So here's where you're going to want to upload your logo. So whether it's a logo that you got, directly from your brand guide or one that you screenshot on, oh yes, of course, Stephanie. Yeah, Canva Pro is the best. Yay. So once you're in here, you're going to want to click logos and start to add your brand assets. So if you have a logo, if you have photos, you'll want to upload brand assets to do that. And so then it'll just pull it up on your screen. You can also drag and drop things over here as well. So any images that you have for your nonprofit, you want to go ahead and upload those in the logo section. It's okay if you don't already have a logo. It's okay if you don't already have a brand kit. I'm going to show you all a workaround here in just a second for how to make all of your designs cohesive, even if you don't already have a brand guide pre-made. So starting with uploading logos, if you go down one, you can add your colors. So these are the little codes that you'll find in your brand guide. And so add as many colors as you have in your brand guide. Again, if you don't have a brand guide, give me like 30 seconds and I'll move into how to do this in a different way as well. After you add the colors, you'll go down again. You can add fonts. Typically, a brand guide will let you know what is a main font, a title font versus what is text, subtitles, things like that. I personally haven't played with the brand voice. I don't really use Canva to write anything for me, but you can also include that. And then, of course, any photos that you have, any graphics, and any icons. So I'm going to give you all a second to start uploading those things if you already have them in a brand guide into Canva. And let me know if you have any questions. And then where we're headed next is that we're actually going to make a post template. We're going to make a document, update the fonts, update the colors, add messaging, images, and a caption, and then download your masterpiece that you can use it. So I'm going to go back into Canva, and I'll share my screen. I can pause. Any questions about how to use Canva branding? You can add more than one logo, I believe. Yes, Lindsay. Perfect. Okay, so you can see my screen. Any other questions about the brand kits? You're not seeing it. Let me go into brand kit. Thank you for the question. So, logos. I have quite a few logos. I think I maybe made a folder for mine. Let me see though for one that I was just making. I'm exploring to see what I can do for you. If anyone else knows the answer about the logos, let me know. These are just some other logos of folks that I've worked with. Okay, so it looks like upper right-hand corner, there's a plus sign that says add to category. And it looks like you can upload additional brand assets there. Let me know if that works for you, Lindsay.
Okay, sorry for being so chatty, but I have another question.
Yeah, of course.
So I have my brand artifacts, like my logo, but I also have some things that I've been like using as common iconography for like our core values.
Yeah.
Would you recommend keeping all of those with the logos, or is that going to like break something if I try to do that?
So I would go ahead and file them with the icons and or graphics.
Oh,
That
okay.
way I'll show you when you're in the actual Canva document, you'll be able to see really quickly what's what and drag and drop what you need. It'll just make it easier for your brain to organize it later.
Thank you.
Yeah, on this left side of your screen, there's all different types of content that you can upload. So yeah, if you can upload those things in those respective folders, it'll make it easier.
Cool, thanks.
And yes, Barb, to your statement, you can upload multiple logos in the logos tab. You can also add some of them as graphics or photos as well. Okay.
I have a really quick question. If we're designing our graphics in Canva, is there a way to get them from our designs into this section without downloading them and then re-uploading them, or is that the best way to go about this?
Hey, it's a great question.
That's
I
a
have not,
great question.
yeah, I have, let me see, let me play around and see if so I have not personally tried to do that, but I'm more than happy to take a second and see if there is a way.
I hate to sideline this. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I like workshops where we're figuring things out together. So
Okay.
let me just see. No, that's not going to do it. Let me come back to you
Both
on that.
me as well. So
Yeah, let me come back to you all on that one because I'm not totally sure. Let me see if I can. Mm. Okay, so you can. Here we go. We figured it out. So when you go into graphics, photos, whichever tab you want to be in, that plus sign in the right hand corner, and then you're going to want to add link a folder. Can you all still see my screen? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And then you want to toggle over to all.
Uh-huh.
Your projects should come up.
Uh-huh. Yep.
You open that, and then it looks like I can bring up any of the projects that I've done. Oh, we're almost there. Hold on. Sure, that's just because I have multiple people on my team. So yes, you can do that, and it'll bring up all those documents for you.
Got it.
okay. One other question.
Mm-hmm.
Under graphics or icons, which if I'm
Yes.
being honest, I'm not really sure how to delineate between the two of those, but icons I'm using for like my core value things.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to create folders to keep them together? Because or do I just drop everything in there and that's better?
I
I'm sorry.
No, you're so fine. I know that I create super simple brand kits and just throw everything in, and I'll be totally transparent about that. But I love that you guys are more organized than me. So let me see what I can find there.
I
Uh,
appreciate the question, so thanks for asking.
Oh, good.
yeah, no, thank you all. I'm not seeing that option, but I can jot that down as a question for me to explore for you all. I know that I don't think I'm going to be able to solve that one quickly. So
Okay.
we'll come back to
Don't
that
stress
one.
about it.
Perfect. We'll come back to that.
We're already
Okay.
taking strides in the right direction that we have all the icons together and organized, but
Yes, definitely. Perfect. Okay. So for the next part of the Canva workshop, oh, Christy, I see your hand is raised. Thank you.
And
So
it's a little blurred. It's kind of blending in there, so I can see how you could overlook that. And this is really a suggestion from someone who does a gazillion things. And I mean, I literally have like hundreds and hundreds of projects that I never named. So just take a couple of seconds to change the name, you'll be happy down the road. It becomes very, very time consuming trying to find images that you know are there, but you have no idea what the name is.
yes, I've absolutely learned my lesson the hard way on that in a variety of platforms, whether it's Google Docs or Canva. So thank you for that note. Yes. I'm
Christy, I
finally
love you. Thank you. I didn't realize that it was just naming them icon one, icon two. That would have been chaotic for me later. You're a hero.
awesome. Thank you, Christy. Okay. So, Chris, did you have another question, Christy, or is your hand just still raised? Okay, cool. Oh, let's see.
Muted, Christy.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I see the hand went down, so I'm gonna keep moving. Come off mute. Okay. Oh, yes, hand is up. Sorry, I lost your image for a second, Christy. Go ahead. You're still muted, honey.
So I muted and was trying to lower the hand.
Oh,
Just a
gotcha,
little
gotcha.
challenging. Sorry about that.
Cool. No, you're so
Nothing
fine.
else.
I just wanted to make sure if you had any questions.
Thank
Okay, so for those of us who might have an organization that does not have a brand kit built yet, I'm going to show you a really easy workaround to be able to still build out some branded content for this year's Give STL Day. So you're going to want to go to your homepage on Canva, and you're going to want to click Create. So we're going to make a new project, Create. And I'm just going to click Instagram post. So create Instagram post, make this new document. Okay, so remember how I asked you all to find some image of your logo and screenshot it, download it, however that works. So I would love for you all to upload that. So again, to get to uploads, you're going to go to your left-hand toolbar. You'll start on templates. Oh, hold on. Let me share the right screen. There we are. So to get to this section, so you open your new document. On your left-hand toolbar, you're going to look for the button that says Uploads. Looks like a little cloud with the arrow in the center. You'll click there. You'll want to click Upload Files. I have a lot of different clients that I work with in a lot of different spaces, so you see a lot of files. And you're going to want to upload your logo there. So again, you'll go to your left-hand toolbar. You'll find the button that says Uploads. And then you will upload your file. So here's a bunch of different logos that I've uploaded in the past, for example. I'm going to work with one of my old clients, an ice cream shop on the east side. We'll work with their logo today. So once you've uploaded your logo, go ahead and click on it to add it to your page. And give me a thumbs up once you've successfully uploaded logo, added to the page. Cool. If you already have a brand kit or brand guide saved, you can also do this activity, but it kind of is a workaround for having the brand guide. Perfect. So if you've worked in Canva before, you know that if you click on an item on your page, the toolbar at the top of your screen actually shows you things that you can do with that item. So when I click on this logo, I can actually see what colors are present in this item. So when you click on that color, it'll pull up all the different colors on your left-hand side that are in that photo. So for example, if you only have a photo of your logo, here's a way that you can pull all those exact colors, shout out to Canva, without having to worry about calling your comms person 1,000 times, sending a bunch of different emails to figure out what those color codes are. So before we jump into pulling those color codes, if you can look at the left-hand side of your toolbar again and click text and just add a text box. And you're going to name it color codes. I'm assuming a lot of you guys have played in Canva before, so you'll want to move that box to where it's easy to see. And you're going to name it color codes. This way, whenever you grab your color codes, you can copy and paste them into one spot. So essentially, this first page of your document is going to become your brand guide for this project, where you will have your color codes listed and a copy of your logo. That way, it's easy to use it throughout the other designs that you do here. So add your text box, name it color codes. And then when you click back into your logo, you can click any of the colors at the top. Whatever color you're clicked on, once you click this little circle with the plus sign, down in the bottom, you will actually see the color code pop up. So then you can copy and you can paste that. So I know that that's going to be my blue. So I can copy and paste that, and now I have that color code. And whenever I want to use it in other documents, this document, it'll be available. So I want to look for the next color. We got the red, and I'll grab a color code from that one. That way I can also document that. And so on and so forth for all the different colors that are in the image that includes your logo. So I've got the gray now. Now copy and paste that. I'll give you all a second to copy and paste all those different color codes. Lena, can you, the private steel date 2026 image. Can you elaborate on your question? I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure what document you're looking for. I saw that this message was in here a second ago.
Well, on the page we were looking at before, there's somebody has taken the Give St. Louis Day date from last year and made a new icon for 2026, and Give St. Louis Day team hasn't gotten their logos done yet. So I'm wondering if you could share that image that was
so after this meeting, I will coordinate with the team and just make sure that we get you guys an updated brand kit. I think I sent that out in the last Canva for fundraising presentation.
Oh,
so I'll make sure I get that out.
I didn't notice that. What was in that message from you took us to the Give St. Louis Day resource page, but nothing for 2026 is loaded yet.
Yeah, so I'll just coordinate to make sure that that gets uploaded, and then I'll send a new email to get that out for you guys.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks so much.
Of course. Perfect. All right. So is everyone able to grab their color codes? You see how when you upload a photo, you can get all the different colors out of it. Do I have any questions about that process?
I have a question. I'm trying to pull all the colors and it's pulling three of them, but it's not getting the brown.
It's not getting the brown.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's a way to. Oops, okay, there it is. Sometimes I have to remind myself how to do things. So what you're going to do then, let me exit. So you're going to click on your image, click on the little plus sign with the colors, and then there's a dropper tool in the bottom corner of that little box. And then you're going to drag it across the color that you want to grab, click it, and then it grabs the color for you.
Oh, okay. Where's the dropper tool?
Yes, so when you click anywhere on your image, the colors in the top, you'll click the plus sign inside the little rainbow circle.
Mm-hmm.
And the dropper tool is next to where you see the color codes. It's to the right of that. And when you scroll over, it says pick a color. You grab it, drag it over the area that you want to grab, and then click there.
That's so weird because mine is not showing that color picker. It's
It's
like a
not,
little dropper.
yeah.
It's okay.
Okay, yeah, I can see if I can troubleshoot that with you later as well, though.
Yep, that's good.
Perfect. All right, so if we all have successfully added all of our colors now, let me reverse this back to the right color. You want to add a new document, a new page to your document. So down on the bottom of your screen, you're going to see a plus sign. So you'll click there and you're going to add a new page. Now you want to open up your templates. So that's your left-hand toolbar, click templates. I'm just going to look for a fundraising template. I really like, scroll down, find one that kind of resonates for you. I really like this one and click to add it to the page. So again, how I got there, I added a new page, which is along the bottom of the page here. I went over to templates on your left-hand side, and then I searched for fundraising templates. And when you click it, it automatically adds to the page. Now what's super cool is I can click anywhere on this page, any of the elements. I can find the color of it at the top, and I can update it to be the color of my logo. So now I know that I have the same blue throughout all of my different pages. Also, you can change to where every single time that that colored blue is on the page, it'll shift to the correct blue of your logo. So then you click change all, and now all my colors have been updated. If I want to change all of the hearts to the red for my logo, I would click the item, click the color in the top toolbar, and then I would go from the photo colors and make it the correct red. So I want you guys to all play around with using a template and updating it to your brand colors. Now, if you're using a brand kit, that will show up on the left-hand side of your screen, and you'll click brand, and your whole color palette will come up. So I can automatically update this to my colors. I can select different colors. This is really convenient if you're doing PowerPoints or slideshows. Makes it really easy to get all your colors correct. I can also view my fonts here. So this is for my business, of course, and I can switch my fonts and add new fonts. And then if I had photos or graphics, I could add them as well. So again, you can go the route of clicking on each individual color. Your brand kit will also show up anytime you open up your little colors toolbar. So I know that this is my correct color because I have that saved as a brand kit. I know that this is one of my colors. And of course, if you did the logo route that I was showing you before, you can now create a brand kit because you have color codes that you can use. So I'm going to pause for a second. I know I threw a lot at you guys there. Do I have any questions about this process of uploading a photo and getting color codes first? Okay. Second, do I have any questions about selecting a template and changing the different colors to match your brand? No? Okay. Perfect. So now I would like to give you guys a couple minutes to just start to add in some of those key messages. So if we want people to donate today, we can add that as our text. I remember one of my key messages was that all children or all kids should have access to fun this summer. Typically, whenever I'm using a template, these templates are made by folks who are full-time graphic designers. They know how many words are going to keep it visually appealing. So I try to keep any words that I change on the template about the same length as the words that were on the original template. And so sometimes it's just kind of sitting and playing around with what fits well. Perfect. So I'll let you guys play around with that for a second. I'm going to return to my slideshow, make sure I did all the things that we're supposed to do in Canva. And then it seems like this group knows Canva pretty decently, but in order to download your design, you'll click the share button in the upper right-hand corner, and you will click download, and then you'll be able to download the different pages of your design. I'm going to come back over here to my slideshow. So now that you've gotten into how to build your brand kit, how to utilize it in a Canva document, no matter whether you were pulling it from a brand guide or just from an image of your logo, it's important to think about, once I make these graphics, how am I going to use those in tandem with my key messages? So there's a couple different platforms that you can use. We had a question earlier about using email versus text. There's also the option of social media. It doesn't necessarily just have to be a social media post. It can also just be a Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn DM and direct message. So here's some pro tips on how you're going to be doing your outreach. 1, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are the best days for emails. I'm sure you all know when you come in on a Monday morning, you're bombarded with emails, so it's easy for things to get lost. And also on Friday, you're kind of tired of going through your emails. So it's, again, easy for things to get lost. As Easter is coming up, you want to avoid doing any outreach the week before or week directly after Easter if you can manage it. Every time you send out any message relating to Give STL Day, you want to link directly to your donation page. That'll make it really easy for people to make that donation. As I mentioned earlier, you'll want to schedule 2 to 3 touch points with each of your contacts. That way you're increasing the likelihood of them making a donation. Anytime that you're posting on social media, specifically on your personal pages and things like that, you're going to want to tag your organization and or the St. Louis Community Foundation in your social media post, as well as using the hashtag GiveSTLDay across all platforms. That'll support in getting your visibility. Outside of that, now that you have key messages, you got some graphics in the works, it's important to start thinking about when you're doing your outreach. So some key dates that I wanted to throw up on the board is 1, April 22nd. That is when early giving starts this year. So sending out a message that day to the folks that you put on your contact list would be a great idea. Let them know early giving starts today. You can make your donation today. I'm gonna let you know a lot of those folks will look at that message. They might even respond, they might heart it, and then they'll totally forget to donate because oftentimes that first step in outreach, people don't actually take the action. So then what I would recommend is about a week later, the midway point between when giving starts and when Give STL Day is to send a follow-up message. Since you guys wrote out 5 different key messages, it'll be pretty easy. Thanks so much for joining, Emily. Talk to you later. And so whenever you send out your second round of outreach, you can use a different key message. So maybe the first time you used your first key message, that was your personal connection. Your second round of outreach, maybe you're going to want to use your donation impact and tell them the exact amount of money that you're looking for and what that will achieve. And then you'd love to have a third touch point. With each person on your contact list, you want to also send them a message either the night before or the day of Give STL Day, letting them know, hey, today's the day. This is when we would love for you to give. And again, you can use one of those 5 key messages that you wrote before. So I'm going to pause for a second. I know that I talked a lot to you all. I would love to know what questions you have about the process, the outreach, and things like that.
I do have a question.
Thanks,
You just mentioned that as of the 22nd, April 22nd, that donors could make their donation. And my question is, my understanding is that they are not actually charged until May 7th or whenever St. Louis Day is.
Yes.
So
I work for the foundation, so I will defer to the foundation expert on that question. Regina, if you want to answer.
Yes, so once early giving opens, it opens up on April 22nd through May 6th. Once people make donations, they are automatically taken out of their form of payment. So whether it's credit card, debit card, it happens right then and there. Yeah.
I always thought it was held. I don't know where I got that impression, but I always thought it was held until the actual day of the give STL day.
So
But that's
no,
okay.
so I will say that like in terms of like data or like the scoreboards and like the ranking of the nonprofits, kind of that kind of thing is held off until Gives Day, but the actual money comes out whenever someone makes that donation.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions?
I have a question. Have you used the like automatic posting feature on Canva for like Instagram and Facebook?
I have a little bit, but not much. I haven't worked in social media about the last 2 years. Is there a specific question I can support with?
I just wondered how like seamless it is to actually accomplish that so that we're not having to post every day, let the system do it for us.
So when I was using it, I really did like it for Instagram specifically. I felt like it was very helpful. And it lets you, I can actually pull it up. So it does let you build into a calendar. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. I liked it. But like I said, I haven't personally run a social media page in a couple years. So I can show. So if you do use the content planner, you'll find that left-hand toolbar on your home screen of Canva, and this is what it'll show up as. And so you can actually start to put your post directly on here. So say I wanted to make a post on Friday. I could click the little plus sign, and it will pull up all of my recent projects, and I can grab whichever one that I need. It'll also pull up templates, so if I wanted to design something and pull it into the calendar, and then all you have to do is connect your Instagram or Facebook account. And so I definitely would say use it. I didn't use it very long though. So don't let me fool you there. And I haven't used it in a while, but it is convenient being able to literally bring in the direct projects that you're working on and those posts into a calendar alone. I remember using that with one of my clients to show them what I had planned. That way they always felt like they were in the loop on what content I was creating and planning to post for them. Hopefully that
Thank you.
answers your question.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. The interface alone in Canva makes me want to explore all the different tools just because it's really user friendly. The plus signs, I always know if I click a plus sign, I'm going to be able to add something. You know, I feel like it's easier to navigate. My best advice for folks is play around in Canva. There's so many different things I've discovered just from being in the app. And they also do have tutorials, which I'll send in my follow-up email as well. Do I have other questions?
I just wanted to give a plug for the tutorials because I used them and they were fantastically helpful. So
awesome. Yeah, I'll make sure I send those in my follow-up email. Thank you. All right, let me check the chat. So recording will not be available immediately, but within like the next week, we'll have that recording available on YouTube.
thank you, by the way.
Yeah, of course. Any other questions I can answer for y'all right now? No? Okay, well, I'm just going to say thank you for joining the Canva for Fundraising Part 2. I will definitely send out the slideshow, even if I don't have the recording immediately to y'all. By the end of the day today, you will get the slideshow and then a couple other resources that I like to share. And so, yeah, you'll get an email from me. You'll get these different slides. And yeah, I would love for you guys to just jump in Canva, play around. And thank you for attending. Like I said, this is my first time doing the Canva for Fundraising Part 2. Wanted to make sure that it was accessible for folks who have that brand kit already documented, as well as the folks who are just getting started in this branding world. So I hope this was helpful. In my follow-up email, I was welcome. Please email me back. Nobody emails me back. So please email me back if you have questions, if you have feedback, if you have concerns, whatever else. I'm always available. I'm very excited for Give STL Day. This is my 6th year in some way participating. And so it's always an adventure to see what the St. Louis Community Foundation does in support of our nonprofits, and happy that I got to be a part of that. So holler at me if y'all need any questions. I will throw my contact information up here. So we can ignore this little part here because this was for my first Canva workshop, but I will send you guys the email template regardless. So all my contact information is over here on the right-hand side. And I don't have a survey for you today. That is the one thing I forgot to do, but I'll make sure I get something together to ask y'all via email at some point. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. I don't check my Instagram often, so if you message me, please don't think that I'm being rude, not messaging you back. LinkedIn, I am more active. And then, of course, email is the easiest way to reach me. I unfortunately check my email about 1,000 times a day. So reach out if y'all have anything else that you need from me. Any final questions? Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining Canva for Fundraising Part 2. And good luck this Give SDL Day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great one, y'all.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks.